Hello, welcome friends. I'm Leigh Koechner. This is day number 4 of FYG and GYG, Find Your Gift and Give Your Gift, 33 Days to a More Joyful Life. If you would please join me in 3 breaths today. And we're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. And you can bring in something you want more of, and when you breathe out, you can release something that no longer serves you, or that you're done with, or that you don't like. Okay, I'm going to breathe in love, and I'm going to breathe out judgment today. If you would join me, your eyes closed, go in through our nose and out through our mouth, in through our nose and out through our mouth, in through our nose and out through our mouth. I love, love, love just the simple breath and connecting with you guys and getting on the same energy level. All right, so on the very first day I was going to talk about tangible tools as well as spiritual tools to help us FYG and GYG. And yesterday we talked about a really deep, tangible tool, looking at our childhood, exploring it, looking for clues, embracing all of it. And today we're going to talk about a really powerful spiritual tool. This powerful spiritual tool we're going to talk about today is gratitude. And gratitude is a word that is thrown around a lot, but when you really get it and you really understand its power and what a blessing it can be in your brain, in your life, unless you really get it, it's just another throwaway catchword that people say all the time. But I really want today you allow yourself to let it sink in a new way for yourself, or hear something new today. Eckhart Tolle said, if the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough. Isn't that amazing? If the only prayer you ever say is thank you, it will be enough. Thank you, or gratitude, is the gateway to abundance. It is the gateway to everything. I'm going to talk about another great mind, one of the greatest scientists of all time, Albert Einstein. He's so great I can barely say his name. Albert Einstein. Albert came up with a theory of E equals mc squared, which basically proved that when you come right down to it, everything in the universe is energy. Everything. So there's God, or the greatest source, or the greatest energy, or the greatest, that's the greatest energy, is God. Everything else on this planet is made up of energy. And this is important to understand in finding your gift and giving your gift, because if everything is made of energy, you also need to know that there are different energy levels. At the top level of the energy level is gratitude, love, abundance, joy. That's the top, because God is love and God is the greatest power. So that's the top. The bottom is shame, guilt, anger, even gossiping and complaining are right down there in the lowest level of energy. And what is so important for us to understand that in this quest for happiness and joy and a fulfilled life is, if you started out with an intention at the beginning of this, and it was something about having more abundance or more love or more other things like that up here, but your mind and your stories and your spinning are in complaining and judging and finger pointing, you can't reach your intention. You can't reach abundance. So that's why it's so important to have awareness of the thoughts that go on in our mind, because we need to match our levels up. You know, it's kind of like if you say, I'm going to wear this bikini when I lose 45 pounds, and then you hold on to all that weight, you can't wear the bikini. Well, you could. And that was a bad example, because I think you should wear a bikini whenever the hell you want to wear a bikini, but that's the first thing that popped in my mind, but you get my point. If I want this thing, but I'm not doing the energy to match it, you can't have it. So be really aware of your thoughts and having kind of ownership of that. Acknowledge the good stuff you have going on, and you will attract more good stuff. If you are feeling lack, if you don't have enough money, if you hate your job, I'll never find love, I'm always sick, you will attract more of all of those things. It seems so simple and almost silly, but it's true. Whatever we think about grows. Whatever we focus on grows. We want to match those things up to love and abundance and gratitude and joy. Have you ever heard anyone say, just when I thought it couldn't get worse? Or why does this always happen to me? Or I can't catch a break, right? I mean, I've said that before. And the answer is you can't, because you are telling the universe what to match. Whatever your thoughts are, whatever you're feeling, whatever energy level at, the universe is going to match you with more of the same. It's so simple, right? What you think, what you focus on, you will get more of. My arm hurts, my shoulder hurts, my back hurts. Gotta rest, I can't do anything. I'm gonna sit down. You're gonna get more aches and pains. I'm gonna get into that kind of stuff another time because I don't want to get sidetracked. As you have more awareness of what thoughts you have and what you're thinking, you can move and shift your life from a big fat drag into happiness. Here's a couple of examples. The other day I talked about Audrey going really berserk because she has to room with Eve. And she could have stayed in that and made their relationship worse and put a bigger divider between them. That kind of energy would have built more resentment between the two of them. But she shifted it to, I'm going to teach her how I like it, rub her back, make her feel good, and then we'll be on the same page. So just how she a little bit shifted her energy from complaining and bull to movement and love and support, all of a sudden their relationship elevated, and Eve is actually making her bed. That's just a little thing. Another thing is, Audrey says, I want a bigger house. I need my own room. This isn't fair. I have to do this with a slob to roommate with this. And she has this kind of negative energy. And I just said, hey, Audrey, I just want to teach you a quick principle about life. As you complain, you are solidifying you will always live with Eve. Instead, if you shift it to, I'm so grateful for Eve. I'm so glad I have this sister I get to go through life with. I'm so excited that I can help teach her as opposed to crush her. And I look forward, as I embrace roommating with her, that one day this energy is going to allow me to actually have my own bedroom. Can you see that shift? The same with me. I'm just giving some personal ones so you have something, to work with. I used to say, we have 7 people living in this house, and it's like a 4-bedroom house, and we have maximized every inch. As you can tell behind me, every single inch of our home and our backyard is used. And I used to say, David, we need to make more money. You need to get us a bigger house. We need more room. I got to put them da. They got to have their own space. And I was creating a bigger hole for us to never leave our home from that energy. Now I say a gratitude for this home, a gratitude prayer, or a thought gratitude about having a space of a home over our head, having a place where we can all love each other, having a cozy home where we're held in the same place so it's not so big everyone is spread apart and disjointed. So I've really been praising David for providing for us and being grateful and finding things about my home that I love and bringing more things of what I like into my home, more fresh flowers. I'm using that, hey Alexa, play 80s on whatever. I'm using these little things we have available to us to bring more joy and to light and opening windows and noticing the butterflies. I mean, as silly as it sounds, unicorns and happy clouds, it works. That is up here. The complaining and looking at what you're lacking is down here. So whatever you believe becomes, whatever you focus on grows. What do you want? What are you watering in your brain? What are you growing in your life? I'm growing a helicopter passing overhead. Really close overhead. And I'm going to have gratitude for that helicopter, that it's not a military helicopter, it's just a helicopter, hopefully just for traffic. What could you be more grateful for right now? Do you guys have your journals near you? I hope so. Would you grab your journal and open it to under your childhood stuff? If you didn't do that yesterday, please make room, and it could take a couple of pages. So give your room. Right now, jot down 3 things that you're grateful for in your book. Look around you. I'm grateful for my lungs that breathe my body. I'm being breathed by these things that God created that I don't even have to think about. I'm grateful for the sun that allows life on our planet. It allows me to survive by the food that it grows. I'm grateful for the beautiful people that are crammed into my family room or that are lovingly held on that couch that we've had for a long time, so long that it's weathered and you can tell who has sat where. So I'm grateful for that. Before I would want a new couch, I'm grateful now that there have been bodies to wear in that couch. Right, save things in your journal right now that you're thankful for, that you're grateful for. Okay, I'm going to go on. I want to encourage you, like I said before, we're doing these 33 days. The more that you incorporate positive tools into your everyday, the more your brain will have new neural pathways, and the more your brain will start reacting more to happiness than going down the old rut of thinking things that are more on the low energy level. So allow yourself to see the butterflies and the sparkling trees and the wind blowing the trees and the birds chirping and the water. I can hear the water in the background drip, that kind of pretty sound like I'm out by a beautiful creek running through. Here are some easy practices that you could bring more gratitude into your everyday. Begin your day with gratitude. Before your feet hit the floor, open your eyes and be grateful you're opening your eyes. Be grateful you have another day on this beautiful planet. And as you're in gratitude of being on the planet, be grateful that you get to choose how you show up today. Are you going to make a difference and bring joy? Or are you going to go into your mundane, old thinking, old way of being? Every moment is a choice. It's amazing. Your first thoughts in the morning set the tone for your entire day. Start your day with gratitude before your feet hit the floor. Thank God for another day on this planet, and be asked to use it wisely, right? That's part of setting your intention for the day. Let me do these things that I want to do. Let me use my time wisely. At night, when your head hits the pillow, share 3 things out loud you're grateful for. I like to acknowledge my husband. So I do 3 about myself that I'm grateful and 3 about my husband. And he doesn't love that practice because it makes us have to go on and on. Sometimes he can't think of stuff, but I like to force him to think about stuff, because then when he goes to bed, his brain is already geared more to loving thoughts. His brain is already out of how hard the day was, or the money stuff, or that stuff. And it's into seeing what he has, right? When we can see the blessings that we have, we're going to get more of them. When we go to bed stressed out and worried about the stuff from the day or the month before or in the future, we are hurting our bodies. Okay, so let's make more neural pathways of positivity in our brain. Share 3 things. So I'll say, Dave, I acknowledge you today for moving the stuff out of my mom's house or her apartment like I needed you to. And acknowledge me for walking the dogs. Dave, I acknowledge you for going to Eve's soccer game. And I acknowledge me for doing my Facebook Live. Dave, I acknowledge you for giving me a hug this morning because I needed it. And I acknowledge me for practicing gratitude. So do that every day when you go to bed. Say 3 things that you love. Hi, Charlie. My sweet boy's passing by. So 3 things that you love. So you're starting your morning fresh and in gratitude. You're ending your day remembering that you have so much to be grateful for. And that's going to shrink the stuff that sucks, and it's going to blossom the stuff that's glorious. That also helps the subconscious mind to focus on what's going good in your life rather than wiring you mindlessly to what's going bad all the time. Here's something I'd like to encourage you to do today. Write a note to someone that you're grateful for, or somebody's made an impact on your life, or somebody that you have good feelings for. If it was a 4th grade teacher that said something sweet to you and they're still alive, write them a note, write them a text, write them a handwritten letter, whatever the heck you want to do. Call them on the phone. If it's your partner, because maybe you've been kind of a dick over the last few months and your partner has not divorced you, thank them for that, and being patient and kind with your heart as you navigate like a hard time. A teacher, a friend, a sibling. I did this, you guys, and I might cry, but I did this with my mom on her deathbed in the hospital when she knew she was dying and we were going to move her back to her place. I got mindful and I took her hands and I got really close to her bed and I stared in her eyes with no words and just fully connected with her. I felt like it was the first time in my life I let my soul talk to her soul with no words. And I just looked at her after I'd set the intention to show up for her and to be there for her and not to be caught in my story or my sadness or how much I was hurt and all that stuff. But she was alive and to be present for her with no judgment and no thoughts. And so I just gazed in her eyes And then I said, Mom, I love you with all of my heart. And I said, I want you to know that I got every single lesson you came down here to teach me. I got all of it. And I'm a better human being because of you. Because of those things, I am happy. I'm so happy. And then she said, I'm happy. And we had a couple more beautiful exchanges, but what was amazing was I said the words to her of my heart and my soul. I didn't try to fabricate something. I didn't try to be perfect. I didn't try to tell her, no, don't worry, you're going to be okay. I didn't say, she knew she was dying and I knew, and I allowed her to have her moment. And then I shared with her my heart, the impact she's had on my life. So when she died, not really when I wanted her to, because I wanted to be by her side, but I was taking my sister to the airport. When she died, I was at complete peace because I got to speak the love of my heart to her. So today I encourage you, it doesn't have to be someone on their deathbed. It doesn't have to be in a tragedy. It doesn't have to be when someone's dying or anything like that. But look at someone today that maybe you haven't expressed to them from the depth of your heart how much they mean to you. Like I said, it can be a friend or a teacher. I think I'm going to do it to my husband today because I love him so much. So I encourage you today to write in your journal what you're grateful for. I encourage you to send a text or a phone call or a note or anything to one person. And it doesn't have to be huge. It could just say, I'm glad you were my teacher. You saw something in me and that's lasted a lifetime. Whatever it is that you can think of somebody that gives you warm feelings. Like yesterday, we were talking about looking at our childhood and feeling the warm feelings that existed because we remember the bad stuff, which is so funny. I remember so much of the bad, but then I'll remember, oh my gosh, how funny my mom was and the things she used to say and the joy she brought people. And it's just a gift to give yourself. So give that stuff to yourself by sharing with somebody how meaningful they are and how you are in gratitude of them. Try in the morning to close your eyes and go, oh, I'm still breathing. I'm so grateful. I'm still breathing. And at night, if you are not laying down next to someone, if you haven't picked someone up at a bar, if you are, no, I'm kidding, or on Tinder, if you're not laying down with your partner, say it to yourself. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for the work you're doing. I'm so grateful I'm doing these 33 days. I'm making conscious choices to be happy and to be more fulfilled. So I am in gratitude of you guys deeply. And okay. So I wanted to say this. I'm going to say a statement to you. Listen the first time, and if it rings true for you, repeat it with me the second time. I am open. I want you to say it out loud with me the second time. I am open and ready to attract abundance in my life through gratitude. Okay, let's say it together. I am open and ready to attract abundance in my life through gratitude. It is a simple thing you can do. We just sometimes forget to do it, but it literally will make new pathways in your brain to abundance and joy, fulfillment and happiness. And that is why we're doing FYG and GYG, so we can be fulfilled and happy for our time on this planet, which is not a long time. Even though sometimes days feel long, this stuff goes by fast. As I watched them take my mother away and I watched her body lifeless, I realized, wow, she used that and she's gone. Now it's just like a sack. I don't mean to be gross or rude, but it was just like a sack of floppy, it's just a sack that was no longer being used. She was gone. I thought, wow, it goes so fast. So I'm so happy we're doing this, you guys, because we're not taking it for granted and we're not just going to die wishing we'd done stuff, because we're actually doing it. So I acknowledge you guys. My quote is, practice gratitude and welcome abundance. It's just, I wanted to keep it that simple because gratitude is that simple. God, I'm grateful for the people in our life. I'm grateful for the knowing that we're all going to die, and something about that brings me peace, and it also brings me clarity on living fully. I thank you for my mother's beautiful life and how she lived it so perfectly that I am who I am today. Bless everyone watching us in light and love, and let us open our mind and hearts to connect in gratitude with the people that we love. Amen. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm grateful for you, and I will see you tomorrow on day 5.